And we're live.
Yeah. What's good, people? It's your boy Icarus Gray.
And it's your homeboy Wordplay TJ.
And this is the No Rhyme or Reason podcast, where we talk about everything.
Everything for no reason at all. And we're live.
Yeah. What's good, people? It's your boy Icarus Gray.
And it's your homeboy Wordplay TJ.
And this.
Whoa, why are you so aggressive?
And this.
And this.
And this is the No Rhyme or Reason podcast, where we talk about everything.
Everything for no reason at all.
We back.
Yeah, so we didn't announce it, but we took a week off and just had some things to take care of, you know, little small things here and there. But now we're live today and we're hanging out with all of our live people.
What up, live
Get
people?
that out of my way. There we go. I just wanted to upgrade our little thing here.
Hey, man, you know what's funny about this is technically we're taking it back, and I never thought about that to our origins.
Taking what back?
Because we were always live.
Oh yeah, we were.
That's
live
how we
kinda
started. Like,
early
yeah,
on,
like this is how we started on the podcast. We was live, and we would like how we got the audio is we would download the YouTube video and use the audio.
Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah, that was a thing, and sort of the structure of the show today. We made some adjustments, and it's going to be structured sort of like those older shows, right? More Black culture infused into what's going on, and more hip hop culture infused into what's going on. Because it doesn't make sense to be no rhyme or reason we don't talk about that type
Everything
of stuff, right?
for no reason at all.
Right. So, you know, we can be nerdy, but we can also be in the culture as well. And so that was the important part of building this podcast in the first place. So we're just kind of bringing it back to our roots. Anyway, want everybody that is watching live to please hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Give us a little bit of love there, and show us how you feel about it. Ooh. Roomba did its job without crashing into anything. shout out to iRobot for that.
Bruh, shout out to adulting.
We need a sponsorship, my dudes.
The adulting of looking at your phone,
Right.
getting a text about your Roomba. You completed your job.
Yeah, shit happens.
That's
like
an
that, you know what
adulting
I mean?
feeling.
But anyway, we want to show some. We want everybody to subscribe to this channel. We're live streaming right now on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So be sure to follow my pages, and be sure to check out Icarus Gray at Icarus Gray at Icarus_Gray on Instagram, and then Icarus Gray everywhere else.
It's
things can be fine.
Gray on Twitch too, because for whatever, like no one had the name, but for whatever reason, I have certain issues with getting my very unique name in certain places.
Nobody cares. Oh. I'm just kidding. We'll get it eventually.
Oh man,
maybe we can sue somebody. Anyway, yeah, be sure to subscribe to all that stuff, like all those pages, and we're going to give you some more love. Join our Patreon, at least $1 a day. I'm sorry, $1 a month. And you can get
like $30.
I wish $1 a day. Then I would quit my job. So join us on Patreon. It starts at $1 a month, goes all the way up to $50 for different exclusives at different levels. You can check all those levels out at patreon.com/wordplaytj. That's wordplay TJAY. And go forward. Be sure to don't send us unwanted advice, but if you have a comment, send it to our email, nrorpodcast@gmail.com. Unwanted advice, we're just not getting any submissions, so I'm going to go ahead and scrap that.
If you happen to send some, we'll bring it up for whenever. Like, just leave it there.
Maybe.
It's one of those special segments that we don't have to do every week.
Yeah, I mean, if people do it, then whatever, but it's not happening because people aren't requesting it, so whatever.
Y'all are missing out. It's hilarious.
Be sure to take our audience survey, available in the description of the audio portion of this podcast. We are streaming on just about everywhere: Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Play, all of those other,
like Stitcher.
Yeah, it's everywhere. Wherever
everywhere. You listen, we there.
Yeah, and so there's no difficulty in finding us on those platforms.
No barriers.
So you want to get into the first topic?
Let's do the thing. So, Slaughterhouse.
What was that?
The
Slaughterhouse.
You just have to listen to it. It's a thing. So, okay. This just makes me sad because Slaughterhouse is obviously my favorite rap group of all time because it encompasses one of my favorite rappers in Joe Budden and a lot of other very, very great lyricists in Joel Ortiz, Royce the 5'9", and Crooked I.
Is Slaughterhouse 2 words? Maybe I should fix that
I
slide.
think it's just a place. I believe it's one word as far as I know.
I mean the group name.
I believe it's one word.
Okay, all right.
I'm pretty sure it's always just been together. But anyway.
I think it's important to get that stuff right, but
it's all one word. So what's happened recently is Joel Ortiz and Crooked I have released basically an album of their feelings. They've released an album, I believe, under the Slaughterhouse name, or at least with the Slaughterhouse name in the title of their upcoming album.
Mm-hmm. It's the rise and fall of Slaughterhouse.
Yes.
Is what it's called.
That's what I figured. And it's caused an obvious uproar with the other two members who are obviously not a part of the album. And there's a lot of differing opinions about it currently. So recently, as of yesterday, which was March 4th, what's today? Yeah, March 4th.
Yeah.
Recently, as of March 4th, there was a live stream that Royce 5'9" had invited Joe Budden on, and then towards the end of said stream, Joel Ortiz comes in to talk with them. We're going to play a quick clip from it to kind of give TJ a little bit of context. So let's play.
Well, I love you, and I want nothing but the best for you.
So then, nigga, listen to the album then. That's it. Fuck with the album, bro. Fuck with the album, bro. Fuck with the album. If you want nothing but... Fuck with the album, man. Tell people to listen to the album, son.
Tell all that album, because suck my dick. Are you kidding me?
Nigga, suck my dick. Don't
language.
Don't do that.
You want me to put people to this clown show?
All right, I'm out, man. All right, one.
The fuck out of here with that shit, man. So,
you know, yo, Joe, that little comment right there, you're going to wish you retracted that one. I'm out. One.
Goodbye. I can't want the best for him. If I want the best for him, I have to support it. Nigga.
So, yeah.
I don't know if that adds any context.
I guess
the blow up.
Okay, well, so I just had to have that part. So
they're just cursing at each other.
Okay, so true. The context of it is they had a long conversation about a deal that was put on the table by Crooked I. I think at the start of last year, sometime last year, they were finally out of the shady Aftermath deal. And they were trying to get the business together, which was what Joe's biggest issue apparently was with how Slaughterhouse was being ran and everything else under Shady Aftermath. It's documented in many a podcast conversation. And Joel's thing was they turned the deal down. He said that Royce and Joe turned the deal down. Royce and Joe were basically like, well, when do we turn the deal down? and then they just were going around in circles in semantic type fashion about whether or not they had actually turned this deal down. And it's like, you said you were not going to, Royce, we're not going to do an album without Joe. And it's like, well, are you wanting us to continuously wait on Joe? It's been 10 years since any Slaughterhouse anything. 10 years. You know, at this point. And you didn't really get any sort of answers. And the reason I was saying that gives me context or whatever throughout their whole conversation is when he was talking to them, because he accused them on the podcast, and it's like he didn't like go off as he normally would, but he did his normal Joe Budden type shots in saying, you know, that
I watched the clip where he didn't say anything.
Well, he was basically just saying, you know, that they were doing it for the bag. And that was like the only little shot or whatever that they heard.
Because I heard that he was hurt, right?
Yeah, he said that, but he also said, you know, they doing it for a bag in that same conversation. And so Joel was like, you know, I ain't never had to do nothing for a bag. Like, you know me. So when they get to that end part where he's like, well, if you love me, then just support the album. And it's like, so what you telling me to do is support you talking shit about me, is how I took it.
Yeah, but I'm curious, like, have you heard the first song?
I heard a bit of it because they were, like I said, they were both giving their takes, and that was their whole conversation in the first two vlogs.
Yeah, I watched the video.
Yeah.
And it just sounded like they were venting about waiting so long to get back into it. And that was it's a heart that they're sharing their feelings or their emotions about being in that situation where they feel like they're stuck. And they're also talking about the other two members who are seemingly, from an outside point of view, rising at a much faster pace than the other two.
Here's how I took that. The whole crux of everything. If you wanted to put out music together, you could put out music together. Like, this is where I would personally feel attacked and feel like it's a bag.
But what's Joe's apprehension first, I think?
I mean, I think personally he just did not want to deal and do music anymore. You know, no matter what other causes or reasons he tries to give, it's just like you just didn't want to do music.
Well, my interpretation of it is like, not only does he not want to do music, he doesn't want to do music because of the music business,
right? And
the conflict with Shady Records, but that doesn't seem to be a problem now, right? Because they're having a deal.
That's why I said that I don't think that he wanted to do music. So because if all of that stuff was, because the other aspect of it that Joel pointed out was, or Crook pointed out on the live that he did later, was Joe wanted to be the money or whatever behind, I guess, the group. He wanted to fund some things or whatever.
Okay, so he wanted to do it in a way that was independent of the label, and that means that it's slow, and it's a slow build to that right. point.
Crook's criticism of that was more so that he felt that Joe just wanted that so he would be able to get more of the money and more of the splits and everything else.
I mean, but they would all get more of the splits at that point, wouldn't they?
It's just like, to me personally, it all just seems like bad pub, and like, you are, to me, going for a bag, only in the sense that, again, if y'all wanted to make music together, people seeing y'all make music together, you ain't got to pick a name on it or nothing like that. They're going to think Slaughterhouse, whether you name it the Rise and Fall of Slaughterhouse or not, because that's what we associate if y'all are together.
Yeah, And this may go towards like a bigger conversation because I'm going to talk about this on my channel about like choosing to get signed and whatnot. So, but first I want to ask the question like, okay, so we kind of can speculate on Joe's point of view.
Right.
Can we speculate on Royce's point of view? What's stopping him from going forward? What are his barriers?
From how I look at it, with him being a biased party, I think, or unbiased, excuse me, neutral is the actual word you use in these situations. From my perspective, I feel like it's about everything has to be right. If one of my brothers has something that they have a thing that they don't like, and another, like, we got to figure out all of this. And if we don't figure out all of this, we're not doing nothing.
He's the glue. It seems like in this
because in everything, everybody was just like, Royce wasn't saying nothing a lot of the time. He was just letting folks talk. Mm-hmm. And then when he did speak, he would ask a question and kind of go back, and it was like, Crook was saying what he was hurt by was Royce saying that he wouldn't do it without Joe. And the whole thing in and of itself was a creation started by something from Joe. To at least in how most times of the story gets told. He had an album, I think it was on Pattern Room, if I'm not mistaken. And there was a song, Slaughterhouse, with all of the members plus one more person who was not a member. And, then they took that and was like, oh, people really fooled with this, and went on to do the album. And I think Diddy has something. Anyway, it doesn't matter. That's a whole bunch of old Slaughterhouse stuff. But I feel like it's more of that. Like, we were the ones who created it. Like, if we not doing it together, we just not doing it. Like, and I feel like that should be okay. If you and Crook, if Joel and Crook want to do an album, then just do an album.
They already did one, right? The HARD album, right? So realistically, they could just do that album, but the deal wasn't for that album. It was for Slaughterhouse, right? Which is weird.
Yeah, but like, what are you going to me, that would rub anybody the wrong way. And it's like, for you to just be like, yo, support. Like, if you love me, you'll support.
Maybe, but like it's a brand. So here I got a statement from Royce59, right? He put up on Instagram, and he paints this analogy, right? Okay. So you have 25% ownership equity in a building. Let's say it's an apartment building, and you build this with you built this building with your three partners brick by brick. It's worth millions. Suddenly, the value drops because it needs renovations, etc. You and your partners have been talking about when and how this work is going to get done. Y'all need to agree on a plan of attack. Meanwhile, you and just one of the other partners receive an offer to build another building together, but with just the two of you, minus the other two partners. And yes, there's a check involved. But just one catch. You have to burn down the building you already have without informing your other two partners in order to do so. Would you do it? And he puts in didn't think so. Me either.
Yeah. That's the whole thing. It's just like, if y'all want to go do another building, again, like you said, y'all have had an album out before, just release another album. Because using the name, and it's not us, and it's not us, that's shady to me.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. And that, that would be like, shout out to my guy Daily, aka Myron doing a Reverse Thought album.
Mm-hmm. And he was like, I got a new partner.
You know what I'm saying? Like, not only like am I fighting because that's a name I came up with for sure, but I'm hurt because that's my man's. That's my brother.
Yeah.
It's like, that, or if NRN is stamped on something else. Like, or if I go anywhere and it's like, I was off the map. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, I just started a new label. It's called Off the Map.
Like, because that's what I felt. Like, that's, to me, that's real cornball behavior. I would not have expected that of Joel. I expected it of Crook, not to be a cornball, but to, like, he feel how he feel.
Right.
But I felt like, personally, I felt like Joel and Joe's relationship was better than that, but I have been wrong about my assumptions on him and his relationships. So, but it's sad because, like I said, this was my favorite rap group. It was the rappity rap, and that's what it was. And, they made great music. Their first album is still a classic, still something I listen to from time to time. The first, like, independent before they signed with a label, because I don't really listen to Glass House, or was it Glass House? Whatever the album was with CeeLo on it. I don't listen to that one that often.
I don't listen to the one with CeeLo.
I don't like, shout out to CeeLo. Like, I love CeeLo, but I listen to the mixtape that came out before the album, because they knew people wasn't just gonna be rocking with the album like we should. Not to say that there wasn't some bangers on there, but like,
and MASH.
Bangers and MASH.
You know what I do.
But yeah,
let's move on. We've been on this for 20 minutes. What's the next one, my dude?
Let's go
on. Next topic, if it'll let me do it. We need a sound effect. First thoughts on Pokemon Gen 9. I feel like we haven't stopped talking about the Pokemans
since we picked back up talking
since January. And I'm so ready to stop talking about Pokemans, but they keep announcing stuff.
It was Pokemon Day. We should, if we don't want to talk about Pokemon, we should never talk about Pokemon in January, because that means we're going to spend a good 2-3 months, because Pokemon Day is in February. February 27th to be exact. So we're going to be stuck in these 2 months. And right. I wasn't expecting this.
So it's the 26th anniversary of the franchise. And they announced that Gen 9 is here.
Yep.
Which sounds fun. Sounds like... and they also announced that Gen 9 is going to be an open world platformer. They announced this with a bunch of different upgrades and things of that nature to the game and to the platform. But ultimately, all they really announced were the new starters and something that we don't like. The ugly ass outfit,
bruh. Not even so you started
our main character, and I'm not gonna show that on the screen, but it's terrible.
It's trash.
Terrible.
Like, I look like a Italian postman.
Where's it? Do you know what this is?
Spain.
It's based off Spain.
Yeah, it's gonna be around. So yeah, should be Spain as far as I know.
But why? I mean, why do you gotta look like?
Why you gotta look
like you herd sheep? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
What I'm trying to figure out is, forget all that. Why do I have to look like a Cabbage Patch doll on top of all that? Like, the character model is just dash.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
It's so weird. Like, big weird.
Who thought about that?
I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's like attempting to look more Italian, or what?
They put a sun hat on man's. Like, why they do that?
I will say that just based off of the outfits, Violet is the one I'm getting.
Just based off of the outfits?
It looks way more normal. I ain't
normal.
Look,
that's normal.
You like horizontal stripes? You a horizontal stripes guy? That's what you telling me, sir? I like solid colors. Yeah, you a horizontal stripes guy. Go and get Scarlet. Then that's what you're saying.
I'm not. Wait a minute. Hold up. That's not where this needs to go. I'm just talking about this whole entire outfit. I can't get with it no matter what the color scheme is. So
true.
Let's just not.
Now
that's the biggest concern.
Is this going to be the only outfit? Now, if Pokemon games are to be trusted, it shouldn't be, because for the past couple generations, we've had more than one outfit.
Look at this.
As he brings y'all in to look at this.
Yo, what is wrong with them?
Slide down. Show them the Violet.
Oh, it's in like kind of mobile mode right now. So they are side. Oh, never mind. They were side by side, but they've adjusted.
Look at that.
It doesn't matter.
At that, John. Look at that.
They're the same.
Flyness.
They're the same.
Nah.
Look at those tube socks.
Nah, man. It's like the color. It's really the hat. If you took the hat off, I'm taking my hat off immediately.
I know what I'm doing as soon as I start.
Removing.
I'm changing the whole drip.
Oh, the drip getting changed quick. Like, I'm full Power Rangers 2 Ninja 4 or whatever the ninjas was called. Like, that is my new outfit.
Oh, that's your outfit?
Oh, I went straight ninja. Yes.
I wish I had a screenshot. Mine's is I got this paisley gold kimono.
Yeah.
And I think I got black pants with the ninja shoes.
Cold blooded.
And the circular like Morpheus glasses, you know?
Oh, for sure. Like I got the listen. But okay.
Drip.
So back on Gen 9, because I do have Legends thoughts, which this game is obviously taking a lot of elements from Legends to go into Gen 9, but making it obviously more traditional. So I think if you look at the trailer, I feel like you are going to be able to attack the gyms in whatever order you'd like. That's the feeling I get. Mostly because they had that square that had all of the elements around it. And that just seems like you may come from different areas. You may want to, like there's something in there. I mean, we won't know until maybe like a month or two from now. Mm-hmm. More about the game because it's going to be holiday release, obviously.
Can we talk about these starters?
We can. Who you got? You want me to get the names for the people?
Yeah, I'm going to give the names, and I'm going to butcher the names, actually.
Do you want me to do it, or would you want to just butcher them?
I wanted to butcher them.
Butcher away. All
right. So there's 3 starters, obviously. Right? We're going to start with the grass type. His name is Spaghettios.
Sprigatito.
You mean, where are you? You're born in Arkansas, my dude.
What? Listen.
You come out of here.
Sprigatito.
All right, Spaghettios is the grass type, grass cat Pokemon, which is weird. And they eat a little grass, but
to be catnip is also just hilarious.
Yeah, it's kind of odd. And then it said it's capricious. I'm capricious as well. So we see what that's about. Oh gosh.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm still coming in off the backboard.
For Coco.
You got it right. So
All right,
I can't come out the backboard with that one.
All right, so it's the Fire Croc Pokemon.
I'm tired of them using the same like type of starting animals.
And the worst one of them all, I should choose this one. Is why do the water ones always trash?
Not always.
And then
Greninja is fire.
And then my wife will be like, "Ooh, that one's cute."
Everybody. Like, more people love Quaxley than you think.
I was going to guess that.
I know. You were going to get that one right. There's no point in you. You couldn't butcher that one.
Uh-huh.
Like, try. What were you going to say? You were going to say Quaxley, yes?
I don't know.
Quackly?
Quackleon?
Quackleon? Quackleon. That is what he looked like with his hair. But he's like a little... I guarantee you, his middle form drip is going to be probably the best.
Probably awkward.
Like, I also don't know why they do that.
I'm going to guess which one's going to be the most awkward middle form, and it's going to be Quaxley.
I think Sprigatito is going to be the most awkward middle.
SpaghettiOs is going to be the...
I can't stand you. Who are you picking?
Why do we need more cats? We got Meowth. We got...
Do you want me to do this list?
Yes.
So we got Meowth. We got Litten. We got Luxio. We got the lion Pokemon, Solgaleo. We got... in terms of starters, we got... Technically, we only have 2 cats. So we got Litten and Sprigatito.
But too many.
But we have varying forms of Meowth. We got Purugly.
Yeah.
We got Shinx. We got other cat Pokemon that I don't care about. Who are you picking?
I'm picking what is it? Fuego.
That's 100% what you're gonna name him.
Yeah, I'm gonna name him Fuego.
I already know. Like, you might want to write that down somewhere because either you're gonna name him Fuego or find something else.
I don't remember because I can't say his name. So Fuego.
But obviously for me, my pick is definitely Sprigatito.
SpaghettiOs.
Spaghetti-O. Because, the water Pokemons have not been Pokemans. In this game, I did not like...
It in a box.
Old boy in...
with a fox.
In Sword and Shield. I can't even think of his name at this point. I wasn't fooling with it.
Huh? I didn't play that one.
You didn't play Sword and Shield, but
I didn't play Eevee and
Let's Go.
Let's Go. Yeah, I didn't play that either.
I mean,
could I not and be fine?
I mean, it's just literally the first game.
I'm just tired of dealing with the Sinnoh region. I think those are the worst regionals.
Really?
I think so.
I love Sinnoh.
I'm not a fan, and I feel like I've been oversaturated with that region.
And I guess maybe so. I can see it from the perspective, especially because the first 2 generations, not only like we got a new region, but we had to go back to Sinnoh. Like that was getting all 16 badges, which is still something I wish that they would do.
Is that in Diamond? Brilliant Diamond? 16 badges?
No, not that I recall.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
believe so.
I
feel like that was only Gen 2.
Yeah, I think so.
I feel like that was only a Gen 2 thing where the game was like longer and it was so much more fun to go back to Sinnoh because it felt like everything was kind of connected. I wish that they would do that and make that kind of like an option. I mean, I know it would make really huge games, but...
Well, the open world feels more complete than it has in the past, and this is going to be open world. So.
Oh yeah, and connected to a lot of the Legends archetypes. So you see the Pokemon on the field. I think I believe they're taking away the catching mechanic though, and you have to go back to like fighting Pokemon to catch them. I don't like that.
So wild encounters, but they're gonna just be in the overworld.
I believe so.
And you won't catch the same. They got to keep that.
Because it was so, like, I like the approach of, if I want to fight you, I can. If I don't have to.
Right. You can just move away or wait for you to try to attack.
And, of course, we don't really know what the evolution gimmick will be for Gen 9. Because there's going to be an evolution gimmick.
They could have stopped at Mega.
They really could have. I think Megas would have been fine.
That was the only one that was good.
I don't even think they needed Megas as much as they could have just done. Like, I think the regional variant things would have been better.
I would find it interesting if they did something new with breeding. Like, you could breed species into new types.
That would be Monster Rancher. And I don't see them doing it.
But, I mean, they're better than Monster Rancher, hands down.
Not in that regard, because that was a dope... Anyway, you know what? You're getting me another Gamer Bro stuff. But
I mean, I'm just making some hot takes.
Pretty much.
Hot cakes. Now I'm hungry.
Whoa. You mean hot cakes?
What? Wait, huh?
Anyway.
Don't say that in the closing room with me.
Not an enclosed room with me. But yeah, so... Thoughts, you picked who you picked, I picked who I picked. I think it's going to be really good. I do think it's going to push the game forward, because I don't think that with the success of Legends that they can really go back. I know they're going to want to, but there is too much that they've gained with that game that it would be a waste to not use those things.
Yeah.
Like the importance of the Pokedex and like observing Pokemon. Oh, that's what I was going to say.
I like crafting, right? Crafting.
I love crafting.
Pretty fun.
And I also, the only thing that I think they missed on Legends, just to wrap this all up, is I think that they should have had more interactions between the Pokemon themselves. Like, take some things from Pokemon Snap. So, like, they can interact with each other. Not like they're just individual sprites moving around. But, like, maybe... And
maybe you could set up battles between your team and, like, gain experience.
Yeah, or whatever. I mean, just, like, more natural stuff. Stuff that you would see. Like, you might see a Ninetales with a Vulpix because that's the evolved form and they protect them. Like, you should see Cubone and Marowak together. Kind of thing, like in interacting with one another, not just they're in the same location. You
know what I want to see in this version? Like different past generation mixtures. Whatever comes with this region, I want there to be a better mixture of past generations. Rest in peace to Venonat. We ain't seen you in a while, my dude.
Venonat has been gone for a minute.
Exactly.
Like, and we've gotten so many different bug Pokemon.
I can't remember the last time I seen a Caterpie.
Definitely Sword and Shield, but you didn't play it.
Yeah, I didn't play that, so
definitely Sword and Shield, because I do remember having a Butterfree.
That's a reason to play it. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I mean, it's good. It's just not like it's not what everybody was expecting. Legends is what we were expecting from Sword and Shield.
Sword and Shield, I'm not excited about the
Gigantamax.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a cool concept. No. It's literally in every gym battle.
In
or
Brilliant Diamond.
What?
The whole like what is it? The ribbon.
The
bullshit?
contest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did do it.
Seems about right.
Yeah. Get that stuff out of here.
But it's funny. Like, I don't know. I hope they do something really good with it.
Okay.
Y'all ready for this hype track that y'all love?
Just fall on their faces.
I think they're ready.
Yeah, they're ready.
Because y'all know what it's time for. Time to guess whether or not Wordplay TJ can guess these anime plots. Let's do this. Let's do it. Time to guess whether or not Wordplay TJ can guess these anime plots. He gets one image to make it drop. I give him a sound if he gets it right or not. And that's how the game goes. That's how the game works.
Cool. Can you re-explain those?
So basically, I give him an image. I tell him the name. He has to guess what the plot is about with no prior information. If he gets it right, he gets a...
Yeah, right.
If he gets it wrong...
Yeah.
And that's the game. This week we have The World Only God Knows.
I don't know if I'm ready for this. So first of all, I'm gonna move my face to over here. Is that a plane?
A plane?
Hating on me. Planes.
Oh, outside?
Yeah. All right. So these look like all female characters. Am I right about that?
Except for one.
The one in the middle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's a little androgynous, but okay. It's Prince, you know?
I saw that coming.
So you got Prince, and he is surrounded by lots of women. Doesn't sound unorthodox for Prince's life. And you got some gears in the background, right? So this is a giant watch that they're in front of. Because the gears like that are in watches and stuff like that. And what is he holding? Are those game systems? Are those Sega Game Gear? What is that? They look like
fake PSPs.
That's what I'm about to say. I was like, they look like Segas.
You beat me to it. It's almost like if you say right. Red Robin.
So Prince is holding his PSPs up, and man, this is hard. I'm gonna just cut straight to the chase,
all right.
Because I don't know what the hell is going on here.
I figured
there's Daphne in the background there.
Yo.
So it's a competition, and they have to hop into the PSPs, do the competition, and time between the two worlds moves at different rates. So if they go into the PSP, it's like time traveling. And they got to do some stuff to fix the present in the real time. Boom.
Yeah.
Okay. So the only thing you got right was, I gave you PSPs, but I'll still give you a...
Yeah, right.
For the fake PSPs. So,
Word.
The main guy in the middle, none of those girls behind him are actual people in the anime. They are gaming characters. He's a second-year high school student. He is an avid player of basically dating simulators. And... He is the god of conquest, meaning if the game comes out, he has played it, beat it, done it, or whatever. Any girl or that's in these games, he done won all the games. At the start of the series, he receives an email offering him a contract to conquer girls, and he thinks it's an invitation to a game challenge. Then in response, a cute demon girl from hell named Elsie appears, and she asks him for cooperation to help her in catching the evil spirits that have escaped to the human realm. Basically, these demons are able to get in girls who are, they have like an emotion, like they're sad or something. And so the only thing that gets these demons out of them is love. So he has to give them a kiss, basically, and get them to be sweet. But the whole thing about it is he's an otaku. So he don't interact with people. All he does is play them games. The reason he has like all the two PSPs is because he continuously keeps a game with him. He will play his games in the middle of class and still get an A on his test. All of his teachers hate him. Because it's like he does not have to pay attention to you. And so he goes on these conquests where he has to actually interact with the real world and girls who don't like him. because he's a huge NEET and he has to figure out ways to conquer them the way that he would in the games. And it's one of my top 5 favorite anime of all time because I love it.
I knew that was coming.
It's a great series.
I knew that was coming.
It's amazing.
Because that whole plot sounds like Garbo to me.
I figured it would. I knew that it would be one of the ones that you're like, what? That sounds stupid. But you have to like that genre of anime, which is kind of harem. A harem anime. Harem animes come in millions of different forms. This was just one of the ones that I think actually did good, actually made the relationships worth something.
So how would they know more about these genres?
You would go to Gray Area Anime and check it out, because I will eventually do a video on this one. I have to rewatch it. Oh, and this is also a small instance where the anime ending is not as satisfying as the manga ending, because the anime will make you feel like he does not make a choice.
I mean, it makes me feel like he just wants to kiss a bunch of chicks.
He actually hates this stuff.
Ding.
And it is it's one of those like, bro, get out your room. You know, like, experience life. Like,
eat a cookie.
Don't get stuck in your games. Yeah. Like, seriously, no, like, eat a cookie. Like, do something. So
why is the cooking the activity though? I'm just so
Have you not been to Crumble? Sponsor us.
I need some cookies. All right. That lets me know what I'm gonna do after this. What was that? What was those eyebrows, man?
Crumble. Sponsor us.
Oh, I thought you were like innuendos, you know what I mean?
Oh no,
I'm focused, man.
Got it.
On cookies.
Got it.
Oh, speaking of which, I do have cookies. I'll offer you some later.
I don't want your cookies.
Good luck with that, bruh.
This episode is sponsored by DistroKid. If you're a musician who would love to distribute your music to Spotify, Apple Music, TikTok, and more, upload unlimited music for only $19.99 per year. If this is your first time using DistroKid, get 7% off of your subscription for the first year. We use DistroKid to manage all of our artists and split payments between our collaborators. Click the link in the description to sign up today. What's in the next topic? Kanye. What are you doing? Looking up babies.
Looking through my memories as I was waiting on you to set up your topic.
I literally... What? Man.
Not man.
I'm trying to buy babies.
Whoa! What kind of accusation? We have not reached that point. Listen, man, my swimmers can swim, bro.
I just had to say, whoa. Why do they need to know that? Because I need to know that.
You got me out here buying babies, man.
Just let them believe it.
I can still make the baby better.
Whoa. Would you stop calling it that? You don't bake it.
I make it.
But I don't want to know that.
I house it.
Why do we continue this conversation?
In the words of Dave Chappelle, when I do have finally have kids, I'm going to look at you and be like, you came from my balls, man.
Oh my gosh. All right. So,
yep.
Kanye may be misunderstood. This is a very clickbaity-ish kind of
Please don't let me be misunderstood.
Yeah, this is why you don't sing. But anyway,
whoa.
I'm focused, man.
Yo.
So I have watched all 3 parts to the Kanye West documentary on Netflix called Genius, and it was very riveting. I'm not going to go too far into the details about this, but it explores basically the time before when Kanye blew up, just kind of right before he made his rise to popularity, right before his accident. They go forward a little bit to his first few years in the game, and then in the third part, they just kind of fast forward through moments leading up to today and how this gentleman has changed, is very dynamic, but also very very static in some ways, because I believe all of the current behaviors that we see are just kind of like behaviors that we see glimpses of in small chunks before there's the fame piece. And so that begs the question, is Kanye West, or could he be misunderstood?
We've approached this topic a couple of different times over the years, and my honest thoughts are yes and no. I think Kanye is a very aware of himself. I also think that fame is not the proper vehicle to ever deal with grief in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
Because so often, like, we don't even know how to handle grief ourselves. We don't know how to handle mental health. We also don't know how to handle help. So, in a lot of situations where maybe not buying a Kanye album might have been something that helped because he needed time to actually look at himself. Who's finna do that?
Yeah. So, I mean, my perspective through through watching the documentary is right after his mother passed away, which is what we're talking about. It's the grief, and he didn't stop working, and they make note of that in the film. And I feel like the only time that he actually sat down is when he went and had his breakdown during the St. Pablo tour, and was committed to a mental hospital.
Yeah. And I don't know, man. It's really difficult because if you listen to College Dropout, at any point, if that's the only reference that you had of Kanye, and then you see his actions, you would be so confused. Because, or if you even watch the George Bush Doesn't Care About Black People.
I think all of us are confused anyway.
Yeah.
At the present day, because people keep comparing it to 2004.
Right. But I guess it's one of those, okay, what happened? Was it the death of your mom? Have you always felt these thoughts? Like, were you using your original album because that's what other people had talked about in terms of Black empowerment, us trying to get to different places, the way we can get to different places? Like, did you Stacey Dash us in that way? You know, to use that kind of combination of like how people felt about Stacey Dash before she started talking about her political beliefs.
I mean, did we even know what her beliefs were beforehand?
No,
because I think that
you know,
that's the major difference is that we felt like we knew. The reality is that the only thing we really knew is that Kanye is a radical.
Yeah.
Right? He is outside of the box. He is in his words, a free thinker.
Yeah.
And so I think he is misunderstood because the audience has an outside point of view. Mm-hmm. And we also have this specific expectation of him from the records, and and over the course of 10 and then what is that, 8 more years, so like over the course of 18 years, why is somebody not going to change? Why do we have that expectation?
I do think that people are going to change, but the thing is, the track of where you change to what you could have been is so far and drastic. So, like, say, like, on the original track of what people assumed, you know, like, people would have him being more, like, honestly, like he says, like, or not like he says, like a Martin Luther, like, a huge advocate for us in a certain way, in a certain viewpoint. Probably like extra, you know, him talking about how Hillman, you know, he wanted to go to Hillman and all of these other, like, you use a lot of things that would lead you to a different place, to me, that would not lead you to wearing Make America Great Again hats. And those two things don't seem to match. Now, you can change, like, but do we get the explanation of the change? Like, even when he was talking about slavery was a choice, and there are so many other points to where it's like, what was your actual understanding? And maybe, like you said, maybe we misunderstood what your understanding of the different things that were going on. Like, maybe Jesus Walks was just your genius of wanting to get a gospel song or a gospel rap song mainstream played.
Yeah, and I also believe that part of what we misunderstood is his understanding of the world.
Right.
And how he formulates his thoughts and opinions and makes sense of his interaction with the world. Right? We misunderstood what that thought process was.
Right.
And not to like kind of downgrade his intelligence or anything like that. Like that's not where I'm headed. I think is that people have different ways that they process things, and he even describes himself as an alien, trying to talk to human beings. And when you think of yourself that way, and you sort of kind of bring about those actual thoughts and manifest those thoughts into existence, I think that you sort of do alienate yourself, right? When you have a confidence about yourself that is different, atypical from our everyday confidence. When you have a belief in yourself that's atypical from everyday belief. When you have a skill set that is atypical of our everyday skill set. And it's not just about ego, because I don't want ego to be like, sometimes ego is taken as like, it's sort of used to downgrade people or degrade people. Like, oh, you're egotistical. I don't think it's because I think he's aware of who he is, right? And being that self-aware can sometimes put you in a place where you're alienated.
I also think that it's what we feed is what we get. Like I said, if fame is a construct where we like it, we feed you. If you build, like, so 50 Cent's career, right, was built basically off being a good artist, but also trolling the entire career. You know, in terms of like beefing with all the people that he was beefing with and everything else. Kanye, you know, after that first album, in terms of everything was built off of moments. You know, like Through the Wire coming out and the fact that he, you know, the car crash. Then you go from the car crash to George Bush doesn't care about black people. You go from that to the Taylor Swift stuff. You go from that to the Jay-Z stuff, like the him and Drake relationship, the him and 50 fake beef to sell records and all this other stuff. Like you go through these different moments that have huge ties to fame in terms of the different levels that he's reaching and hitting. And I just think that we fueled things in a way that we shouldn't fuel them, but it's hard to gain control over those things once they've gotten started. Like, simply, when you fuel something, so when we buy the albums, like when we consider or proclaim someone a genius, like whether they are, aren't, whatever the case may be, that's it. Like, we're only comparing him to him.
Yeah, and I think that should be the only comparison. But I think with that fame or with whatever personality type you are, or whatever is within yourself, you start to fame will kind of exacerbate that. So if you're already alienated from the jump, right, you're probably going to be more and more alienated the more successful you become.
Right. And it's an island that nobody can really understand, which is why I guess I would lean more towards him being misunderstood. It's just one of those hard things because there is still visible pain and other things that are going on with him. You know, even the current state of his divorce and everything else, it's like, I think somebody was talking about, like, he literally has a whole song where the verse in the song, I think it might have been his, I don't know if it was his All of the Lights verse, but I forget. It might have been. But anyway, where he just, like, the whole verse is basically playing out now.
Yeah, and also old Kanye gives a glimpse at like what that is. And ultimately what I believe is when it comes to what he's experiencing, we're seeing some of the worst and exaggerated parts of his life. Right. We're not seeing the normal things, and we get a little glimpse of medicated Kanye in that film, and he's almost subdued in a lot of ways, which doesn't feel normal. No. To who we expect. And really quick in the chat, shout out Christopher Lewis. He says, Talib said it best, Kanye's confidence makes you feel uncomfortable about yourself. And I think that can happen when folks are around confident people in general.
Yeah. I mean, or just trying to like figure out whatever. But I also think that at the same time, it's just like that can also not be true. In the same way that it's like, no, it don't make me feel uncomfortable at all. Like, I feel concerned or worried because it's such a drastic reaction to different things. But if that's what you need to do, whether it's the fashion line stuff, right? And wanting to be, you know, I'm on the level of Walt Disney and all these other people.
Well, I think the only issue with there's the actual sign of people being uncomfortable in themselves is when they tell him to stop comparing himself to greatness.
Oh yeah, whenever you do that, you like, no, like that's who I'm telling you who I'm like. I don't have no issues with that.
Yeah.
I just think that at the end of the day, it's so interesting, just the entire metamorphosis. And granted, like throughout the years, if you look at all of the different instances, it's always been there. It's just at the beginning, those moments were quote unquote on our side. You know?
Yeah.
So, and I think that that's most people's gripe or whatever they got going on.
I think so too.
But I mean, I wish the best to him. I really do. Especially like, I don't want nobody in no. I definitely don't like any baby mama drama situation. Like, I ain't for that in nobody's life.
Yeah, this can't be good for the kids. That's for sure.
So, though the story he told about North and him making clothes, and she was like, if you can't follow instructions, you'll never make it in this industry or something like that. She told him. He said, like, 2 things that made me think. 1, that is cute. 2, stop having conversations like that around your kid.
Right.
Because they get it from somewhere, and that is like, stop it.
They're being trained.
So, but yeah.
Yeah.
But wish him the best. Still, he is a GOAT. I don't care. Like, I don't care what he do in life. Musically, he will always be a GOAT.
Yeah. And he probably eats your clothes too. But with that said, thank you for listening, watching, especially those that are watching live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Be sure to subscribe to this channel. Be sure to follow our podcast and listen to our podcast every week. Available on all of those podcast streaming applications that you use.
And a 1 and a 2 and peace.